Hello, everybody, and welcome to RollPlay Live, Court of Swords. Today, we're going to be spending the next 8 hours playing Dungeons & Dragons, going on a spooky and exciting adventure. Aha! Welcome!
The cops are here, we gotta go!
Today, I am joined by these four brave fools, some of whom you will remember and recognize. For some of you, this may be the first time seeing these lovely people, and we will introduce them and their characters in just a moment. Special thanks to Microsoft for providing the surfaces upon which our character sheets are recorded today. Yeah. Let's begin our introductions over on this side with our lovely barbarian, Ken.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cinnamon Toast Ken, and I'm glad to be here. It's my first time to come on RollPlay Live, so this whole set's amazing and new and exciting, and I'm just excited, really excited. But yeah, I'm Cinnamon Toast Ken, a YouTuber and streamer. I'm playing a barbarian, the bear, my little bear hat here. Got 3 levels in a barbarian, 2 levels in druid, and just designed to absorb as much damage as he possibly can, which hopefully I'll actually be around for the battles this time versus the last episode where I was carried away to the distance.
Yeah.
My druid friend that's helping me to quell my barbarian rage has passed my boo bear. And I'm sad. Who was JP. And now he's on his 3rd character. Hopefully there's some connection
just rub
still
it in,
there.
Ken. Just
there's
rub
still
it
some
in.
connection. There's still some love maybe in the air. But yeah, glad to be here. Thank you.
Max.
Max, or GassyMexican, another internet fool. You guys have seen me. Usually I'm playing Berg. This time I'm playing Silent Thorn, who's like a devious, kind of roguish tabaxi who's got like probably a bunch of matted fur and stuff. And it's interesting playing a character now that actually like talks and says words rather than just like bird, you know. so that's been fun for me. A little sick right now, so bear with me. Maybe you wouldn't even be able to tell until I told you, but screw it. You guys know now. I'm excited. Now the set's awesome. Second time being on a live show, and it's gonna be fucking dope. I'm excited for it.
Excellent, thanks, Max. And to my left, the oft expired itmeJP.
We got 2 dead jokes already. I'm going to be counting for the 8 hours. Yeah, I'm JP McDaniel. You're on my channel. I'm a streamer, YouTube content creator. This is our 5th RollPlay Live show. This is our 50th Court of Swords episode, so I guess shout out to that.
Yeah.
Congrats on 50.
We did it!
I'm going to be playing, like they said, a new character, 3rd character, by the name of Vama. I'm a barbarian, 5th level. And I'm just kind of going for raw damage. My character was also rolled randomly, so I just put a die to the class, the race, pretty much everything, and it worked out.
Yeah, we call that the Sean Plot method.
Yeah, yeah. I'm playing a dwarf, which we'll figure out how that works with me and Ken, and I'm super excited to play for 8 hours today.
Yes. And then, of course, showing us all up.
Okay, the
Aaron's
original
looking rad.
The original plan was that everyone was supposed to be in cosplay, and then I came out and everyone's like, "Yeah, this didn't." Max has like
I have
some
some.
sexy cat gloves. I don't know. Anyway,
We'll get to that.
well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in more normal clothes probably by like hour 2, 3 ish. If everyone else is comfy, I'm going comfy too. My name is Aurelian. I work for Twitch as the community manager, but I have also been on a couple of roleplay shows. This is my first time in front of the camera. Usually I'm behind it doing all the set design stuff. So it's fun to be on this side of the camera. My character's name is Salak. She's a tiefling ranger, kind of a badass. Really excited to see what interesting things we get into this time. So
Yeah.
Yay.
Soro's kind of the MVP of the last couple of sessions.
Totally.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't say your character's badass until you prove it, and then I thought back. I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, she kind of did.
Kinda.
I kind of want to see those cat gloves before we move on.
yeah.
You want me to-
Let's just get out of the way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
get in
thought
the character.
I thought I'd
Yeah.
do a little bit of cosplay stuff. So we got some cat ears. They only had like sexy leopard print, so that's what we got.
Throw it backwards. Your furry's on the wrong side.
Oh, it's on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You gotta
Yeah.
Much
throw it
better.
out front.
You got to show that you're grizzled with that.
Yeah, exactly. And then I got my sexy cat gloves, so people can see my paws and stuff.
I hope
There
you
you go.
attack characters just
No,
like
that's
I put on the wrong one.
Yeah, perfect, beautiful.
Yes.
Nailed
Look,
it.
we've got the set department squared away. With the costume department, it could use some work. But
Yeah.
My hand is so fucking big compared to the stupid. I put it on like no problem before. There we go. Ha-ha.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You've got the paw prints and everything.
It
It's
does.
I feel
great.
so
got the paw
immersed.
prints.
There's something really special about playing D&D in person.
Listen, production value, all right? Come on now. Look at the set.
the immersion. I need it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
There you go.
Looking good.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
What's up, guys?
You are so hot right now.
Yeah, I'm a little distracted. I need to look over here.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well done, everybody. So let's get recapped on where we're at from the last episode. So this is going to be the majority of this sort of story. We got some introductory combat out of the way in the last 2 bits. There was some tears and bloodshed and mushrooms, giant mushrooms.
Damn it, mushrooms.
But yeah, let's talk about that. So the reason that y'all got into that position that you were in, the reason why we find you where we find you now, is because many thousands of years before Berg and Ramus and the Court of Swords we know and love, in the ancient primordial past, before the founding of the courts, powerful spirits walked the earth, gods and monsters. This was a time when humanity was sort of just coming into its own, and the bureaucracy of heaven and the arcana hadn't yet formed. The world is a savage and dangerous place, as we've found out. In the area where this game is set, there are three main powerful entities that sort of rule the land. There's the Mount God, Parvat. There's the Forest God, Vana. And between them, the river goddess, Nadi. And Nadi is the one who is responsible for life flourishing in the plains and the forest that you're in. However, she has gone missing. And as a result, the river has dried up, the fields have lain fallow, and a drought has overtaken the land. So all of the people of the land, to their own accords, have set out to find her, to discover where Nadi has gone. And so that's why the three of you and one of the members of the Druidic Order, who is now passed, may he rest in peace, went to the shrine, the sacred shrine that is taboo, right? Not meant for human or dwarven sight, meant to be set apart from the world where Nadi lives. But you found it unoccupied by the river goddess and instead full of dangerous, terrible mushroom people who, in grand D&D tradition, you slaughtered mercilessly. And it looked like they were growing some kind of like mushroom god in these caves. And the last we saw of the three of you, you had fallen in combat to some deadly blood slime in these caves.
Yeah.
So, yes, that.
What did you check?
Three of us.
Some.
Three of us did. One of us was already ripped in.
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
Yeah. Now you'd all stabilized, right? The acidic blood goop. It didn't look like it was trying to eat you, right? Because once it knocked you down, it went looking for other targets. So you were all knocked unconscious but stabilized, and slept. So we don't really know where the three of you are at, and we'll come to you again in a second. But Vama, I want to talk to you about what your deal is. So you are you're a mountain dwarf.
I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Opposite our hill dwarf.
Yeah. So in the region, the two main sort of species are the humans who occupy the edge between the plains. They're like a wandering plains people, and then sometimes they will take shelter in the edge of the forest. They mostly are servants of and worshippers of Nadi, and accordingly they're the worst affected by her disappearance. Mm-hmm. But the river feeds all, so she's important to everybody. So these humans, they kind of wander the grassland. They have herds of animals that they tend, and they have grown like swiftly in the last few generations. Right, dwarves, they live a long time. It takes a long time to have babies, and they're a slow-moving species. Mm-hmm. But the humans have kind of like popped up. Some say like weeds. And there's some debate among the dwarves about what to do about this human problem. The hill dwarves made a decision. There was a feud between the mountain dwarves and the hill dwarves. The hill dwarves decided to ally with the humans. They were like, the humans they're people. They're powerful. They're interesting. We're gonna like be friends with them. And so for the most part, hill dwarves and humans get along. The mountain dwarves have not so much. They were like, no, we have to stick to our ways. We're going to go up into the mountains. And there's a third subset of dwarves that are the sort of priest caste and direct followers of Mount Parvat. They're like his children from whom you descend, and they're seen as sort of like mythical, right? You don't really interact with them much. You know, they live in the highest parts of the mountain, but the mountain dwarves sort of stick to tradition. But hill and mountain dwarves are still connected, and your character particularly has a connection with the hill dwarves, right?
Yeah. I was my guy in dwarven years. About 400 is I guess considered death or the max age, and so I'm 330. I'm one of the older dwarf folk up in the hill, kind of responsible for a lot of the peace treaty between the two, and I guess I'm known for that. People will recognize me, mostly because of that. Maybe also because I have 5 charisma and I'm just the most disgusting looking creature. I guess to describe myself, I bald, but I have a very large beard, as most dwarfs do. But my head you can see a bunch of different battle scars. Some wounds have healed, some have not, and are a little bit tender. But that's kind of where I took a lot of the blows was on my head. I was since I am a berserker, I would charge into or a barbarian, I would just charge into battles.
What
not armored.
What path did you? Because you took 5 levels of barbarian, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess the subclass at 3 I took was Path of the Totem.
Okay, and what's your totem animal?
Wolf. So
wolf?
any,
Okay,
I guess
cool.
for you guys, if you're in a 5-yard radius of me, you get advantage on your attacks.
Nice.
So yeah. So Ken will probably be front line with me, and if you're up front,
That's going to be great for me, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so you're used to fighting with like a pack of other warriors, right? Dwarven warriors.
Totally.
But
usually the leader of that.
right, but for the dwarves, this is a time of peace. So was your pack disbanded, or did some foul thing befall them and you were left alone? Because you're like kind of a lone wolf now.
Sure. I think a lot of the pact kind of took in this diplomatic role.
Oh, that's interesting. So like,
and I didn't fit in.
Right,
really.
they were domesticated, right? In
Yeah.
this sort of time of peace, the dwarves have no like species to go to war with.
Right.
Interesting.
And I was kind of, I did what I had to, but it didn't. Some of those meetings got a little
Right.
hot, and I didn't necessarily convey the message properly.
Right, I really like that idea of like the wolf packs, because you're probably like an alpha of a group of like wolf warriors
Right.
among
Would
these
they all
dwarves.
be like your same age and maybe like elders now?
Oh
Also?
yeah. Some of them are probably like the chieftain of the tribe or up there, not necessarily the big chief, but yeah.
Cool. Okay, I like that. Yeah, and there's certainly factions among the mountain dwarves that are still like, no, we need to like deal with these humans. We need to kill them before it's too late. And you were part of like brokering peace to be like, no,
Yeah.
like we can stick to the old ways, but we can also. And so there's this sundering of dwarven society, which, as we'll see, thousands and thousands of years later, that the mountain dwarves basically like almost go extinct. And the hill dwarves become like very like prevalent and popular because of their connection to the humans. And also because of some indeterminate part in the middle where there's a war with the orcs, and the orcs lose and become a servitor race to the hill dwarves. And I'm looking at you because Berg is the product of that cultural line, right? That the hill dwarves enslaved these orcs, and eventually we lead to Berg.
they
Interesting. Okay, cool. All right. So you're on a mission right now. There's a dwarf that needs your aid and protection.
I am, yeah. Your parents sent me out to find you. You kind of just left and didn't really say what was going on.
They don't trust me.
Yeah. Well, it's not that, I mean, maybe they don't trust you. They're just looking for their kin, right?
Yeah, right.
Literally, their kin.
Well, Yamsol
Ken, I was going to say they're Ken.
Looking for their kin.
looking for their
More
kid.
kin.
Well,
Listen,
Yamsol
we're all looking for our kin.
Yam's whole thing was that he's also a barbarian in all the rage, and didn't feel like he was fit
Right.
into kind of a leadership position. Went out kind of like a spirit quest to try to find inner peace, which when he came across the druid. But he's been gone for like 10 years, which is, I mean, dwarves live a long time, but that's still a long time to be missing.
And I don't think that the dwarves have, like, mountain or hill, they don't have a druidic tradition themselves, right? Like, you had to learn this from someone else. And Ikishnagalo was, like, spirit touched and, like, kind of strange, and was a furbolg, a member of a race that is, like, long gone extinct when we were in the modern times. So yeah, so you did have to leave dwarven society. So maybe like, so what's the purpose? They want you to find Yam and protect him, or find him and bring him back.
Want to bring him? It's a Saving Private Ryan scenario.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Mama
They're
Yam.
worried. They haven't seen him. They don't know what happened.
Mama
He
Yam
went-
is concerned.
Yeah, he went behind or went past the line of no return. So they're looking for him. They want to bring him back.
Okay. Now, do you have? Are there other? Do you have siblings? Are there other Okinto of your generation?
Yeah, there was a brother. Let's see. What was his name? Bomb. That's Yam and Bomb Okinto.
Yam and Bomb.
The father.
That's what they
Grom.
say when they fight. They go like that.
Well, so what? I mean, you're the one with the like the fire inside, right? And you've left. So what does your brother do in the Hill Dwarves? Like, is he a merchant or a diplomat? Is he like a warrior?
More of a trader with and keeping like with the humans.
Okay.
Hunter. You know.
Okay. So maybe
And that's probably where the deal was brokered. Is your brother potentially?
Yeah, or maybe Bomb has fallen ill or
Oh,
something,
yeah.
and then the Okintos are like, no, we need to maintain the line. We need to get our child
Bring
back.
the oldest. This young one, nah.
Yeah.
And I think that's also it's kind of frowned upon, right? Like when people go away, you usually don't send people out to look for them. The dwarves see that as like, well, they made their choice. They're out of the
Yeah,
the pack.
Dwarven society is very insular, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
if you choose to leave, you can't come back.
And so the
But-
mission's kind of done in secret, but
right, because
I'm looking for a fight all the
it
time.
has
so.
to look like Yam's coming back of his own accord, and there's probably like a protocol there, which we'll get to if you decide to return home, because you got pressing business, right? Everyone, the dwarves, the humans, the land and the spirits, everyone will suffer if Nadi doesn't come back, right? There's no point in any of this stuff if she dies, because then the whole area will become uninhabitable. All right, cool. And so these two misfits are tagging along with Yam on this quest to find Nadi, and it has not gone great so far, so much. So I think that when we begin, we hear imagine the sort of screen of our story as darkness, and we can hear scraping and dragging, the sounds of light, sort of grunting sounds, the sounds of a group of people exerting themselves with a heavy workload, and that sound we can hear that the dragging and stuff is punctuated by the rattling of armor. And then there's a crash as whatever this heavy load is being carried is like dropped on the ground. And as we fade in, we can see jagged mountain peaks. So off in the distance, the sky-piercing top of Mount Parvat, and then the sort of lesser mountains and hills at his feet. And there is a cold wind blowing. The sky is dark and gray. Snow is starting to sort of form in the clouds and drift down. And as we pan down from the peak, we see in a valley there's a deep crevasse, and there is a group of figures that are dragging what looks like either large bags. Some of them are carrying backpacks, but two of them are dragging bodies. And as we pan across and we get closer to these figures, we can see that they're stout. They are gray-skinned. They look sort of superficially like dwarves, right? They have the same sort of squarish, like blocky form, but they are hunched over. And like so much so that they walk almost like on their knuckles at some points. Along the edges of their shoulders and their brows, we can see that the bone is exposed. There's like a rocky kind of like prominence along the edges at their elbows, and on their knuckles they have these like hard plates of bone or stone. They have kind of milky eyes and then long gray or white beards, and they're all dressed in some kind of metal chain armor. And as we pan down across them, you can see that they're carrying. One of them is carrying like a fine bow in a bag and throws it on the ground. Another is dragging a feline form dripping with swamp water. And they seem to have discovered the three of you somewhere down below the earth and have dragged you up into this mountain pass. We have no idea how close you might be to where you were before. And then finally, as we pan across, we see Yam, and there is a huge three-fingered hand, like around your whole body, like big enough to hold you, that just kind of like tosses you next to Salix and Thorn. We see you like tumble unconscious next to them, and then we slowly pan up this enormous. It looks like if you took a dwarf and blew him up like tenfold. It's a mighty creature, maybe 12 feet tall, huge at the shoulders. Across his back, there's a club and an axe, and he's dressed in tattered clothes. And as we get to his shoulders, he has two heads. One is clean shaven with sharp, like broken teeth, and is wearing a pot helmet, and the other has a long beard with bone and beads tied into it. And this creature, this massive giant, kind of like tosses your body aside. And then we see over his shoulder some movement or a glint of metal in the distance on one of the ridges. And we zoom in and change fade, and we can see that you have crawled up to the edge of this ridge, and you can see 50 or 60 feet down below, you can see Yam and his these two strange companions of his in an unconscious pile. He seems to be alive. You can see from here that he's breathing, and he is surrounded by these gray-skinned creatures, and then the big two-headed giant.
Okay.
That looks like all told, there's 4 of them. There's 3 of the dwarves and this giant.
Okay.
For the 3 of you, like mechanically, you essentially had an opportunity to like long rest. You've been unconscious long enough for your bodies to recover. So any abilities that would recover on a long rest, that sort of thing. You're unconscious. You'll sort of be waking up during the scene. I want to give Amma a chance to do something, but consider that your equipment is like near enough to you that as part of a standing action, you can like grab it.
Right.
Yeah, they're not like you're not tied up. They haven't like thrown your stuff far away from you. We don't get the impression looking at it that you're necessarily prisoners. You look like salvage.
Right.
And
have I been tracking him for a while?
I think so. Yeah, I think that you tracked him. Yeah, you tracked him and three of his companions into this. They went into the crevasse down into Nadi's shrine, and then these groups returned. I think you saw the dwarves go in after them. Sometime later. But yeah, this is sort of where you're at.
Okay. Can I make a perception check to see if, with the snow falling, if whatever action or if a fight starts, if it's going to deafen the noise from this?
Yeah, sure. So make an investigation check, and you can ask me some stuff about the situation.
Okay. Investigation is +1, so it's 14.
14? Okay, that's not bad. Yeah. So what do you want to know? You want to know if you start a fight, if it'll be like, I mean, It'll echo a little bit because you're in the mountains, but you also know that there's no one living. There's no mountain villages. There's no goat farmers or anything this high up. And also, this area is taboo. You shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be here, and the dwarves shouldn't be here. This whole area is sacred, and no one should be around. So there won't be anybody casually
how far away am I?
I'd say 60 feet. Give or take.
All right, I will. I'm going to try to sneak as close as possible to them. So I guess you want me to make a stealth check with that in mind?
Yeah, let me pull you over to. I have a map.
Okay.
And we can take.
Yeah, I'm going to try to stealth up. So I kind of shimmy my way up.
Okay.
Did you say it's difficult terrain?
Well, you can take a look. So they're all down there, and you're kind of up here. Now there's a path that kind of winds its way down that way, and then the two-headed giant is there, and these two are there, and then there's one more down there.
Gotcha.
So for you, if you want to sneak, you can kind of climb through the rough area. Right?
Is that half
or you
movement?
can go around. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be it's sort of like a shale. It's not like a drop off. This isn't all raised as a path. This is just the sort of clearest way down. So it's half walking, half climbing to kind of make your way through here. But it's going to be the chances of you knocking off stones and knocking them down because you're higher up than they are. That there is a chance.
Okay, we'll go the safe route.
Yeah,
That's
start
probably
going that
way. I have 35 movement speed.
Okay.
25 is the dwarf and +10 for hidden 5 and barbarian.
Right. That's right. Yeah, you move more quickly. Okay.
So I can move 35 feet down there if you want to pull up the measurement tool.
Yeah,
see how far that goes.
Well, so let's have you make your check first, right?
Okay.
Because you can kind of do this in checkpoints. You can move down here.
Right.
And then make your way down.
Okay. Stealth is a +3, 20.
Nice. Okay. All right. So I've got two different rolls to make. One for the dwarves and one for the giant. The giant, because he has 2 heads, has advantage.
Okay.
So I'll roll this twice. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
That's a 17. I don't know what his plus is.
All right. Okay. So you can do the move, right? You can get to.
The so indicated that I'm about to be spotted.
Yes, it did. You get to about here,
Okay.
and one of the heads of the giant, I think the bearded head, like cocks an ear and says something in this deep, like rasping language. That I think who speaks primordial? Does anybody speak primordial? Okay, so maybe that's what wakes you up. Oh, you do too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
That was
no,
my language I
no,
chose.
Sylvan
So
is my
does-
other one.
You speak Sylvan?
Infernal,
So does Thorn.
yeah.
Okay, so just you for primordial?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they're speaking primordial, and so it like cocks its head and says like the wind speaks, and the other head says footfalls on stone, and they turn to like look and kind of peer, and the harsh winter sun like gets in their eyes, but they're looking in your direction. They've definitely heard something, but it's not like sound the alarm. One of the other dwarves nearby like swats at him, and he says, "Get back to work." And they seem distracted, and there's a moment where they're kind of like arguing a little bit. So for the three of you, let's have you roll. All three of you roll a Constitution save. We'll just say DC 10, and we'll just basically make one of these every round to see if you wake up. That guy there. You just roll a big one.
Oh, the D20?
Yeah, because it's a con save.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, great.
All right, you have a pulmonary embolism and die in your sleep.
There's our first
Thanks for
one.
coming.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Hit 25.
Okay, so Yam, you're awakened by the gravelly sound of their deep speech. So let me wake you up here. I guess you're still prone. So do you wanna what do you do when you wake up? So you wake up, you feel like you're shivering a little bit because you're out in the cold. The wind is blowing. You've been unconscious a while. The last thing you remember is the slime like throwing itself on you and the burning on your skin. You're still like aching, and you can hear this gravelly. At first, it just sounds like people like grinding rocks together. And then you look, and as your vision clears, you can see this two-headed giant from the knees down, and then these gray-skinned dwarves talking. They don't seem to have noticed that you're awake yet.
Right. Well, with the previous encounter probably still fresh on his mind as he wakes up, and what happened, Will just like immediately jump up and begin looking around without even worrying about what's around him.
So your approach is there's danger, but then all of a sudden everyone is distracted because Yam is like wakes up with a start.
Look up, look around, look if I'm armed or not, if I got all my fingers and toes.
Yeah, so your stuff is nearby. You could very easily grab it. You're lying near the furry body of a silent thorn, and you can see Sorrow. The two of you also wake up now because he made a bit of a racket. And the dwarves they all start, and let me see, what are they equipped with? They have looks like they have picks. So they have like long handled stone picks, and they like one of them grabs them and looks over at you. And he's not threatening you, but you've startled him.
Right.
And he says something in primordial.
Well, I mean,
I can't hear that.
I can speak primordial.
Yeah, yeah. So you hear it. So he says, he turns. He just makes like an exclamation. He's like, "What was that?" And he turns and he sees that Yam is waking up.
All right. So, like, I guess they're similar to dwarves, but they obviously have these.
Yeah. Yeah, they're dwarven in shape,
Just
but
the square body.
Yeah, they seem to have been like kind of like carved from stone and not finished.
Right. Okay. Well, of course, like stand up and seeing these guys, and they're like, but they don't seem to be approaching angrily. Like just hold and look around and try to just continue to assess the situation. If I can find my weapon, I'll try to grab it. But just keep an eye out.
Sure. I mean, you can grab it.
I'm not going to pick it up and go swinging at him. But
you put your hand on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So what do you do?
Same thing with Thorn. He's probably gonna he's noticing that they aren't immediately attacking. Thorn's just gonna try to grab his weapon and slowly get up and look at them and just not ready it, but have it. He's not in a threatening stance. He's just kind of feeling them out and looking around and looking at Yam and just trying to feel out the scenario before he moves.
Okay. What are you doing?
Yeah, same kind of thing, because there's the one that's just a little bit down. I turn and look and see that they're just a little bit behind me, so kind of slowly creep up and then backwards towards them to at least get together, but not in any way that's not okay,
okay, all right.
It's okay.
So
it's
you're
okay.
all gonna stand up. So I'll take the prone marker off you. So the idea here is you're just gonna start moving closer together so that you have your backs to each other.
Right.
You get a little more safety there. Okay, cool. All right. So as that happens, you you see all this happening. You see them waking up, and they all start moving towards each other.
Okay. My eyes are probably. I think I took a look at the dwarvish humanoids and realized they're not. They don't have the soul of a dwarven.
I mean,
kind in them.
if you want, like, you have a chance to sort of observe them. Do you want to try to figure out what their deal is, or if you've seen them before?
I mean, I think I'm looking over that, and then once I do spot Yom is like up and moving.
Right, Yom's sudden awakening startles everyone.
Yeah, it startles
right?
me,
Like everybody who's trying to do anything else suddenly is just like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
I guess
okay.
with a passive perception of 16, you rolled like 20 for your sneak or something, so we don't see you.
Yeah, I had a 20 sneak.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. None of you notice. It's just that the Etten has advantage and a pretty good perception.
Okay.
Oh, they're speaking another language I don't understand, but they seem kind of dwarvish. Like if I have an opportunity.
So as you start to move like together, the dwarves are looking at each other like they're not really sure what, like maybe they thought you were dead. They're not really sure what to do with you. The Etten, his bald, kind of milky-eyed head, looks at you and snarls with his broken teeth, and he's like, "Put down weapons."
in common.
Yeah.
Oh.
As this is happening, I'm up in the hills and kind of see, something's about to happen. A fight's either going to occur or these guys are just going to get obliterated. And I think I draw out my, what is it? Not battle axe. What's the two-handed axe called?
I think it's just a two-handed axe.
Okay, I pull out my
You got a
two-handed axe.
big-
Yeah. When it
iron
comes
axe.
out, it pulls out. I like hold it up to my lips and kiss it and say, "Shama, guide me as you have before." And then I just jump off the cliff and go right at him. I just start raging and
Leroy
screaming.
Jenkins, that
I
shit.
was
Okay.
about to be trying to be diplomatic. A
Yeah,
little
me
bit,
too.
but
I
never mind.
was about to try to also like be like, it's okay.
Well, and that's great because there's a surprise. I'm gonna roll. Actually, you'll get a surprise round, right? So
Perfect.
you'll have that opportunity. So let me.
He has no idea what we were about to do. He's just like, fuck it, woo!
Well, I don't know who you guys are. I'm only
Right,
there
yeah,
for,
exactly.
for Yom, yeah.
Okay, so I'll add turns to the order, and then y'all can roll your initiative. So on your
Okay.
character sheet, just find what your initiative bonus is. Get
Roll
ready to make
D20.
that roll.
Oh, right, yeah. I'm so used to
Just
rolling-
hitting the button.
rolling. Per-
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get to roll dice.
Some
I know.
dices.
This thing? Yeah. I think so. How's that? There we go. Okay, cool. So I will roll for these dudes.
Okay. You want to roll first?
Yeah, we might as well. So we'll do the Etten first. He's got a -1 to his initiative. Cock die. There we go. All right, I got 14. Okay. And then the dwarves, Parvat's children, they have a +0. All right. And 15 for them. All right. Silent Thorn, you want to roll your initiative?
Sure. So mine's a +4.
Oh, yeah, you're fast.
That
Okay.
wasn't very-
14.
14. Cool. Yam.
You know what? That's better than I normally get, so I'm not going to complain.
17.
Nice. Everybody's rolling good. Okay, 17 for Yam. Salix, you want to roll your
It's the
initiative?
sexy cat gloves.
It is.
it?
Yeah, they give you a +1
Yeah.
to your.
I have 3, so 9.
Okay. All right. So 9, and then Vama.
3 plus.
That's a
12.
9. So
Yeah,
12. Okay. All right. Cool. So here we go. Yam, you would normally be. All of you are surprised. There's a shout up in the hills, and it echoes, right? So you can't quite tell where it's coming from. And the dwarves all like look at each other like, "Wow, it's an ambush. What's going on?"
It's and you might recognize it's definitely a mountain dwarf call.
Right.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you
So
probably
the
recognize
the
that,
two
yeah.
of you don't recognize it, but yeah,
So
for some reason you hear.
Dwarvish, is that what you're doing? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you say?
I think I just say your name, but whatever that is in Dwarvish. However you would say Yom in Dwarvish.
Right. Yeah. It's like there's this your special like dwarven name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I dig it.
I'd
Okay.
like to think that's right, too.
Papa?
I like to think that he shouts and, like, runs out like that right as Thorn, too, is about to be like, now let's talk.
Let's talk about this.
Let's just talk
That's
about
just like,
this.
what the fuck?
Okay, so I'll skip through the Etten. Actually, the Etten gets three-eyed first because Vama's initiative is lower. So because the Etten is the only thing that knew, one of his heads noticed you.
Okay.
So I think the Etten starts to turn and kind of does this awkward thing where like one foot and one shoulder starts to turn, and then the other one like slows up a little and he sort of stumbles, and then one head is like something up there, and the other one's like, "We told you so." to the dwarf nearest him, and they turn and they spot you. And I don't think the Etten doesn't like have. He's only got like weapons, like melee weapons. So he draws a battle axe and a club, one in each hand, and then starts to head over that way to sort of meet you at the pass.
Okay.
So he's got a move of let's see. He's probably pretty fast. Yeah, 40. So he can go like to there, give or take. I don't need those dwarves, just need this guy. Okay, so he's gonna run over there, and he dashes over and sees you, and like bangs his weapons together, and kind of hunches down, and like waits for you to come at him. He's gonna take the dodge action.
Okay. Yeah, I pound my axe against, I don't know, the stone in front of me. Maybe just cut in half. How far away am I?
Yeah,
from
like
him?
scrape it across the rocks, big shower of sparks.
Right.
So for you, you are 15 feet to there, and another 20. You're 35 feet if you run down the.
If I want to hit him.
Yeah, that'll still. You have a movement rate of
35.
35. Yeah, you can get to him.
Okay, yeah, I run straight up to him.
Okay. All right. So again, the battle cry, the sound of iron against stone. Maybe you can see some like sparks up above, and then this dwarven shape comes rushing towards the Etten.
Okay. Rage bonus action.
Okay. So bonus action, you can move. Bonus action, you got your attack action now.
Two attacks because at level 5 you just get an extra attack.
Yeah, and it's not a bonus. It's just attack.
So
and the second
Shama
attack.
is a +8. So first roll, 24.
Nice. Yeah, you hit.
Okay, so that's a D12. Where are the?
Right there. Yeah.
Okay. 8 plus 4 slashing plus 2, so 14 damage
Okay.
on first attack, and then second attack, another 24.
Okay. Oh, you should be. He's taking the dodge action, so you should be
Oh,
rolling with
rolling
disadvantage.
twice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can that count as a second roll?
Yes. Yeah, and then we can keep that first one.
Okay.
So now roll twice on this one.
9 again, so 9 plus 8 is 17.
Okay.
Second roll, well, okay, that wasn't a roll, but whatever. 11.
Okay, so that one you miss.
Okay.
Okay. So the first swing, you come in and you gouge into his one of his meaty legs, because you only come up to like his thigh at
sure.
head level, so you're hitting him in the legs. So you hit him in the legs, one of his knees buckles a little bit, and he falls down, and then the second swing, he brings up his Morningstar and blocks it. So your axe crashes into the metal haft of his weapon.
Great.
Cool. All right. So that brings us back to the top of the order. So Yam, now you can act. Everybody is taking that few seconds of being like, what the hell is going on? This giant and the dwarf like crashing into each other and are fighting in the pass. What are you gonna do, Yam?
So I guess being a dwarf, I would recognize that you're an older dwarf.
Oh yeah.
So
I have many braids in my beard.
and,
Yeah.
and you're raging. I'm inspired. I'm going to rage too. Bonus action. And if I can reach these guys, well, before I want to go forward first, see if I can even reach them. How my movement speed? Will I be able to get?
Yeah.
to
Who
them?
do you want to? Which one do you want to go to? Because you're well within range of either of these guys.
Okay. Well, the one that's closest to where he is, I'll go to that one.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna move over here.
Yeah. And bonus action rage and swing an axe at him.
All right.
17 plus 6. What is that? 24 or something?
23.
23.
Yep. Yep.
All
That's a
right.
hit. They're well armored.
Yeah.
But that's enough to strike him.
10 damage.
Okay.
10 slashing.
All right. So he roars in pain and surprise. These guys didn't seem like they were expecting a fight, and then all of a sudden, yeah, you're just like, wow, these two raging dwarves. Just
And
like,
I'll yell back in Dwarvish, "Grandfather!"
no, is this like grandfather in English, meaning literally like my grandfather, or is this more like
Old
grandfather
man.
in like Japanese, meaning
Yeah, old man,
yeah, yeah, like friendly old man? Okay, cool. All right, good. All right, so the
Seems friendly. Just
Yeah.
leaping out.
the rock
fucking
dwarves, these dwarves, they look at each other, and as soon as they realize like battle is joined, they start this humming like chant, and it's like a round, like they're all singing at a different, like humming at a different volume, and they start like pounding on their armor. And instead of taking an action this turn, they all shout loudly at once at the end of this thing, and there's a grinding, like cracking sound, and they begin to change shape. So all three of them at the end of this
You just
action.
had to jump out with your axe first.
Look, he got up. He was in danger.
So at the end of their action, they grow from dwarf size to man size to giant size.
Great.
And now, yeah, they're just these huge, like rocky creatures, and yeah, and they're enormous. So that's their action, but they can still move. So this one's gonna move down there, and this other one. Let's see, they've got a move of 25. So let's see. Yeah, this other one is gonna move.
What a surprising development.
Probably slow, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, you know what? This one's not going to. This one's not going to grow. This one, his song, ends on a different note than the others, and he disappears.
Oh shit.
So he just like fades away. He disappears, and then he'll take the move action.
wrong.
Is this without a trace? Is there any dust kicking up from his large footprints as he walks across
Just
the
feel
ground?
like he just like crumbles into like a rock
Like,
pile,
goodbye,
just like a
everybody.
gravel pile.
Yeah,
now
he just
where
dies.
once
He just kills
stood.
himself. It's weird. All right, Silent Thorn, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
All right. Couple questions.
Yeah.
So, them like doing their whole. I can't get an assassinate advantage on them, right? Because they've
had an action,
They've had
yeah.
an action, right? Okay. Second thing, if I were to move here, well, it wouldn't make sense anyways. The only reason I was going to move here was to try to get like hide, but I'd have to disengage now because this motherfucker came right here.
Yeah.
Shit. I may just disengage to get some distance on him, and then move over. Is there any sort of cover if I were to get right here?
Yeah, there's like a bush there. You can make the hide action behind it. I mean, it's like the only bush around, so it's like pretty obvious where you're hiding. But it's combat.
Well, I wouldn't be
It's
able to-
Down
chaotic.
below you, right, Max?
But there's
What's that?
There's an invisible
There's
guy
one
there.
down.
Yeah, at the
Down.
south. There's a
Instead
bush.
of going all the way up there, you could go down.
Yeah, if the one that disappeared
Yeah.
It's about the
didn't
same
move
distance.
forward and you,
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they're about the same distance.
You may get an opportunity of attack on you if he's standing there and you walk past him.
Either way, I can't hide this turn just because I have my bonus would
Right.
be disengaging. So I'll probably just disengage and head over yonder that way.
Okay. All right. So take the disengage action and
Yeah,
then
move me over there.
here. Okay. All right.
And then I will fire off an arrow at this guy right here.
Okay. At that one.
That guy.
Okay. Cool. All right. What's your to hit bonus?
Is bring that.
And he is adjacent to your friend, so if you do hit him, you get your sneak attack.
Hit bonus should be +7.
Okay.
Right. Come on, sexy gloves, don't fail me. You failed me, kind of.
What'd you
Actually,
get?
no. It's a 9.
Okay.
7.
Nope. You fire the bow.
It's
It's a clear
It's a
shot.
6. Oh, it's a 6.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah,
These so these guys they're not that hard to hit, but you fire, and a combination of his sort of rocky skin carapace and then the sheets of iron mail, just arrow bounces off and clatters to the stone.
Shit.
Yeah. You'll be able to recover it though, so there's that. It
Yeah,
doesn't, it doesn't
yeah.
dissolve in his
That's nice.
body.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It's just
all
adorable.
right,
Sharpen it up.
so Silent Thorn, that's you. All right, so the Etten. Let's see how old man barbarian holds
Do
up.
it.
So the Etten's gonna get 2 attacks, one with the battle axe, one with the morning star.
Okay.
What's your armor class?
19.
19. Okay. All right. So he's got
Actually, no, 17 because I'm dual wielding. Or
you're two-handed.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
shield
17. So I need a 10 or better to hit you. So the first swing is a miss.
Ooh.
All right. So that's the battle axe.
More of
so
those rolls.
he's got so you've got this big weapon that you have to carry in both hands, but for him it's just like a one-handed like hand axe
Okay.
basically. And so he like levels it at you, and you duck out of the way, and it scrapes the ground next to you, big shower of sparks, and then from above the morning star comes down. So same to hit on this one. And that one's a hit. And it deals 2d8 plus 5. And then you have, you're raging, right? So
Yeah, I am. Yeah, half damage, right?
Okay. All right, so 10, 15 damage, 15 piercing. And I should add your rage to the turn order. Let me just do
Yeah,
that.
we can both share the same.
Yeah, the rage timer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll actually...
Unless you did yours during your surprise. Did you? No? Okay.
I did at the start of this round.
Okay.
It's one thing I do miss doing is raging.
Missed that rage.
Soon. Beginning of
Half
November.
all that
All
damage.
right, so...
Berg's back.
It's like you
Rage.
take half damage, but then suddenly
he's
the monsters
pissed.
hit harder to make up for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes all your squishy people suffer.
And then
Yeah, suddenly a portal opens up and Bird
Okay.
comes through.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Etten right now is just focusing on just taking you apart. So he's just like swinging his weapons, trying to crush you, and he's like just angry, right? Because you hurt him, and now he's pissed. Like he's not fighting like he's like happy to kill you. He's fighting for his life, right? He thinks you're gonna kill him. So yeah, so the two of you are crashing together up there. Vama, it is your turn. You want to fight back?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I will. Yeah, just my 2 attacks.
Make your 2 attacks. Okay.
+8 with the with Shama. That's a 1. Let's move on.
All right. So I think he it was the Morningstar that hit you, right? So he swings at you sideways. You kind of roll backwards. He swings down, catches your leg, knocks you to the ground, and you, instead of getting an opportunity to attack with the first one, you have to like push the Morningstar off of you and like swing to keep him back.
Yeah. Second attack, don't fail me.
There you go.
There we go. 25.
Okay. Yep.
Where's the D12? 6 + 6, 12 damage.
Okay. All right. So let's see. All right. Cool. All right. So same thing. Like you're killing him in measures by strikes to the knees and the thighs and the legs, and so there's like blood running down his legs. And he's roaring in this 2-tone
I'm
angry
definitely
voice.
roaring back.
Yeah. Totally.
That's how you fight Edens. You just roar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the three of you are just shouting at each other angrily.
Good job, grandfather.
Yeah.
Good. All right. All right. Sorrow, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
So in the midst of all this chaos, I like look around, and Thorn has run away, and the
Hey, whoa. He hasn't run away. It's just how he fights.
He ran backwards, and the other two are engaging in the combat, which would not have been my preferred choice. But obviously, I can shoot from where I am, right? Can I hit?
Yeah, I mean, you have the disadvantage if there's a guy next to you, but you can still
Because
fire.
you're adjacent in melee range.
Right. So I would move just so that I'm out of the way of this one right immediately, but still in the line of sight of the Etten, right?
So like,
And I can still hit
because
him
the
from
thing
there,
is,
right?
the thing is, if you move away without disengaging, he'll get an attack of opportunity on you
Gotcha.
Yeah. Max gets to do it because it's.
I could
in
do
his
it because I'm
class.
just
because he's a cheater.
I'm just cool.
Okay. Then I'm just going to attack him from right here.
Okay, the one right in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just pull your bow, and just like blamp right in the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because he's tall, right?
Sure,
So
yeah.
even if I'm going to try to hit him.
Yeah, they're like
where it
9,
counts.
10 feet
yeah,
tall now.
Yeah, they're way
Do you
bigger.
have hit? You get to hit him with
No,
your dagger?
but with the longbow,
bow,
even with
disadvantage with the bonus
with
is
the
still-
plus 10,
Okay.
like it's negligible, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
roll
would
it
just
up.
roll, right?
Yeah. No.
Great.
Okay, so what's your bonus?
10.
Okay, so 12. Roll,
Yeah.
roll again. You're not gonna do worse than that, but okay. So you miss because of the disadvantage.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you draw your bow and you go to fire, and he just puts his hand over the bow, and you like snap the arrow, and it goes into his palm, and he just throws it aside.
Okay.
Do you want to do anything else? You have a bonus action, and you can move. But I mean, moving will trigger attacks opportunity.
For my bonus action, can I attack him again or no?
No. You have another attack though.
yeah,
right?
I do have a second.
Yeah.
My second attack.
Like, we'll do that first because
Okay.
you're gonna want to do that. So. Okay, that's a good start.
Plus 10.
Okay,
And then roll
one
this one.
more because you still have disadvantage. So. There you go. Okay,
23.
yeah, you hit.
Okay. And then for that one, I roll a d8, and it gets plus 5 and 2, right?
Yeah,
longbow,
whatever it says on your sheet.
Yeah,
so
it's the d8.
Yep.
1d8 plus 5 piercing, and then plus 2.
I mean, you guys are
the plus 2's already worked into there.
smartish.
The
That's
archery
this one,
plus
right?
2.
It just says plus 2.
The archery's already. It should already be worked into the.
Well, I got a
into
2,
the damage.
so 7.
7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
better, kind of.
All right. Cool. Okay. So the first shot, he just blocks it with his palm. The second one, you're too quick, and it flies past him and like grazes his cheek, and black blood drips down his face, and he looks like startled, like these guys they don't seem to be fighting like, we're gonna kill you and take your stuff. They're just like, why are you fighting us? And like his eyes go wide and like grabs his face, and he kind of staggers back a little bit.
Man, it just makes me feel shitty.
So you have another attack, but only if there's someone adjacent to the thing that you just shot, and there isn't. He's too
Right.
far away. There's a dwarf sandwich going on over here. All right. So yeah, you hit him. He staggers back, and he's like, and like grabs his face. And Yam, it is your turn.
Well, I mean, I don't understand anything these guys said.
Brutally murder these dudes who
Got
didn't even want to fight.
Bonus action, wild shape into bear.
Okay. right, let me grab your
What a
bear
crazy
coat
transformation.
here.
Oh my god,
Ken,
it's like
how
a
did you
whole
do
new
that?
person.
Roar.
Role play. Okay, so you're. Let me see. What kind of bear are you?
The brown bear.
Brown bear. All right.
Is polar bear not till 6 or 7?
It's a higher level. I can't do it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Plus, look, he is a brown bear, clearly.
Well, true, yeah. I mean, you could turn it inside out.
Just flips
I'll be-
the hat
I'll be
inside
the
out.
inside out bear.
Now hold on. There's not a lot of room for a bear here.
Yeah, what's gonna happen?
So you're gonna go there, I guess.
That's gonna push me out. They don't get pushed away from me.
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's no clear. I guess that doesn't make sense. Let's just push that guy back.
Yeah, he's like.
Okay. All right. So you turn into an enormous bear.
Yeah.
I'm pretty disgusted when I see that.
Yeah. Well, because you haven't seen him in a
not
long
because
time.
of like you transforming, but because it's like going against your heritage. Like that's
You're just like,
sacrilegious.
You know,
Yeah, that's a human-
and
that's a
bear-
human
and
trick.
bear, all
Yeah,
y'all.
but I can't. I'm not making
You're-
anything
I mean,
of
you're
it because I'm
enraged.
raging
and
as
bear.
shit.
You'll have-
Don't worry, Grandpa.
You'll have this conversation
Somewhere
later.
in the back of his brain, he's like.
You see in the top
How
right,
dare
Vama
you.
will remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you shapeshift into a bear. The dwarves are like startled and frightened, right? They kind of stagger back, like what is going on here? And then that was your bonus action. So what are you gonna do with the rest of your turn?
Out of character, I want to stop all this because I feel terrible with these guys because they probably saved us. But character-wise, multi-attack on the one that's attacking Aaron right now.
Okay, so bite and claw both get a +5 to hit.
Okay, the first, so it's 11.
All right, so you lunge out with your teeth, and he jams his shield like in your mouth, and we see the shield like bend and kind of crack, but you don't hit him.
Okay, second attack,
And then you bring up your claw and swipe at him.
14.
14. No, you hit his bracer. He's fully on the defensive now. Like he's turned away from her. You can see the blood dripping from the arrow wound in his face, and you're just mauling him. Like you're just up
Yeah.
on top of him, and he's like fighting and trying to.
Leave my
hold you
squishies
back.
alone.
The one over here, he shouts "Ullum" and like grabs your back and is trying to like pull you off of his friend.
Ow, you're
and-
pulling my bear fur.
Yeah, so he's just like, oh god, there's a bear mauling my friend, and he's trying to pull you away.
All right,
Okay, cool.
that'll be it.
So they're gonna get to go. I think these two are just gonna focus their attacks on you because they're just like, oh, she's like,
shit.
oh no. So I gotta check for cloud cover because the day is clear, but there are clouds moving across, and these creatures are they're from the below grounds. So I say on any given round, there's a 50-50 chance that they're in the sun or not. So let's say 1 to 3, and it's sunny. Okay, all right. So they have disadvantage this round. Let's see. These guys have when they're in giant form. War pick, they have a +4 to hit. All right, what's your armor class as a bear?
I think it's only 11.
Not good, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so +4 at disadvantage.
It's +1. I got the cloak, but yeah.
Okay, so
So
no, and
Yeah,
Ooh, it
give
would've been a
me that
crit.
goodness.
All right, so he goes to grab you with one hand and like pull you back, and he's just his pick, and he goes to swing at you, and the clouds part a little bit. And he's got the sun in his eye, and he like hisses a little and like takes a swing, but misses you. The second one, so same thing, disadvantage. I got a 8. And it doesn't matter. All right, so same thing. These guys, they're blinded by the sun, having a hard time seeing you. However, the invisible one. is
Oh, I
going
forgot about
to-
the invisible guy.
He's going to show
Oh, yeah.
himself.
That's why I was like, don't go down there. You like run into him and they'll smash you.
Got a blowgun.
So let's see.
Wonder if he's a spellcaster.
Salix
what I was wondering, too.
behind you.
Oh no.
He appears. Pick at the ready. He would normally have advantage, but the sun is out, so it's just a regular roll. What's your armor class?
14.
Okay, so 10 or better.
Ooh.
No, it just barely misses you. So just at the last second, you see him out of the corner of your eye. You see him appear. You throw yourself to one side, and the pick whistles past you. All right, Thorn, your turn.
All right. Thorn would otherwise hide, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to get the sneak bonus. Anyways, just because she's right there. So he's going to fire off at the one that just appeared, having seen like, oh shit. Like, just
Yeah. So you've
fires
already got
off
an
an
arrow
arrow.
knocked. You turn your bow and loose the shot.
Yep.
Okay, and if you hit, you get sneak attack.
17.
Yes, barely.
Barely. This is 1d6.
It's 1d6, but it's also your sneak attack. How many
Yeah,
d6s
plus
do you
4.
get for that?
1d6 plus 4. Right?
Well, that's
Oh,
the
plus
hit,
the-
but
the-
you get
it's,
three more d6s. Right?
3d6, yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
grab 4d6, roll them, and
4. Yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Yes.
13, 14?
Yeah, 14 plus the 4, right? So 18 damage.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay.
Not bad.
So yeah, he is surprised by the shot. It's a clean shot right in the side, and he staggers back and looks. You see him turn and look, and despite his craggy, alien-looking features, you know fear when you see it. And he looks over at the bush like and is startled.
Making me
and
feel
frightened.
worse and worse about this fight.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck you. And he's like,
The Etten is going to try to get rid of you. So
Okay.
two attacks.
Got 45 HP left.
All
these
right,
dudes
2
are
attacks
just
at
our
plus 7.
saviors, and we're just fucking them up.
Yep.
Okay, so that looks like a hit.
Yep.
And these
17
are
HP. Or
2D.
17 AC.
Yep. Okay, so we get one hit for 9, so 14 damage.
7 damage.
Okay, yep, 7 on the first hit.
Okay. So
And
38.
then the second swing is a miss.
Okay.
All right, so this time you've got the Morningstar handled, but the axe comes in from the side.
Yeah, I think I like the Morningstar misses me behind me, and the wood kind of keeps me in place as it lands on my
Right.
shoulder. And the
Oh,
axe
that's
comes
yeah.
in.
So the head of it, you rush forward so the head doesn't crush you, but he still catches you with the haft, pins you down, and then chops
Yeah.
into you with the axe. That's
Yep.
really cool. Okay, great. Yeah. So he's just roaring away. Bama, it's your turn.
All right, I will roar back. Hope this hits. It's 23.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. 2 plus 4 plus 8.
8 damage. Okay.
And then let's do second attack again with a plus 8. It's
Oh, nice.
25.
Yep.
Roll high. 6 plus 6, 12 damage.
Okay.
Is that your +2 still?
Yeah, plus 4,
Okay.
plus 2.
And it was 12 total, you said?
Yes.
All right. Great. Yeah, he's getting worn down. The heads are looking at each other and grumbling in primordial as you drive him back. Right? He's blocking some of your attacks, but two solid hits get through.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Excuse me, Salix.
Is there, if I speak to
I'm
them,
allergic to taking damage.
do they do they only speak primordial, or if I attempted to speak to them in common, would they understand
The only
it?
thing you have seen speak common was one of the Etten's heads.
You have no idea is what he's saying.
Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to not fight at all this round.
Okay.
Because he looks scared, right?
Yeah, he just got shot by your friend. And
He clearly looks like he's not, and they have their only thing that they've done to us has been reactive to us going after them. So I'm gonna go to this
Fair.
small one down here and kind of like put my weapon down and try to like approach him as like, it's okay, like we don't want to fight you, right? And see if there's any, can he understand me if I'm talking to him, if I like lower my weapon and approach him, but
So
in a very
you're just using, like,
non-threatening
body
way.
language
Yeah,
and-
like
and-
it's
yeah.
okay. Like maybe even attempting to try to like clear kind of the gash away from him and clean up his wounds if he'll let me get that close to him to show
you're
that
just
like
kinda
I'm
like,
not
it's
being
okay.
aggressive
All right.
to you.
I will definitely let you make the roll. Let's have you make a persuade check. The problem
Okay.
is you look like a scary demon, and you have two screaming dwarves trying to kill your friends, and they don't speak the same language as you, so it'll be a disadvantage.
Okay.
But you can try.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty heavy
Yeah, it's
disadvantage.
going to be hard. It's
But
possible.
no one else is doing it,
I'm
right?
this spooky demon.
Maybe if I try to mom this group,
Yeah.
someone else is going to take like my,
So it's going to be hard to yank these two out of their berserker rages.
but not him.
But
Yeah, no, I'm just sitting in the bush like, what the fuck are we doing? What are
Right.
we like,
So we're gonna try it, right? So I have 2 persuasion, so I'm gonna roll this one, right? +2.
yeah, so you're going to roll that one twice, and then take the worst result.
Okay.
So one's
pretty
a
good.
20.
One more good one.
One's an 8.
Shit.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't we take our first break here, and when we come back, we'll find out what happens when you set down your weapon and try
Okay.
to convince these strange stone dwarves you mean them no harm. Don't go anywhere. We got lots more Quarter Swords Live when we get back.